Uh, Hi, everyone. Welcome to Digital Experience. This is the PM Group release video. We'll go over what we worked on for the last 2 weeks. It's Thursday, July 12th, 13th. Jess isn't here. I'll go over quickly what she worked on. Looks like she did some UX stuff for the solutions landing page, analytics and dashboards, as well as general solutions iteration planning. She worked on the security checklist tool and the ESG company landing page. And then for me, I was off on PTO last week, so then I was doing some catch up and catching up on code reviews this week. I did a quick fix for some hard coded values that were showing up on our events pages. So those now live in the YAML file for whenever we move to CMS and do translations and all that stuff. And I worked on an events, I'll share my screen, an events team page. This, I think we're actually going to go in a different direction. But the idea is here that we have kind of a basic version of this page, this events page with a registration form for an event happening on a certain day. And with like UTM params in the URL, we can actually like change some of that information so that this can be accessed by a certain group of people that are going or looking for this event on this date and other events and that sort of thing. I think we're going to be doing something a little bit different because we don't fully trust showing different information based on UTM params, just in case the browser strips them or something, and then you end up on that base level page when you were supposed to be on one of the other pages. So we're not sure if that's how we want to display data, but that was a fun thing that we worked on that the events team might leverage in the future. And I think that was it for me. I'm still working on another event page for the events team, waiting on some content for that. And that's it for me. I'll pass it to Miguel.
Thank you. Yeah, for this iteration, I worked on the drop-down side navigation for some pages that are using it in the buyer experience repo. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we wanted to include also this dropdown that exists in the side navigation of slippers, but not in this variant that we have in the buyer experience repo. So I did that. I also made sure that the intersection observers were cleaned up in that component also to avoid memory leaks. I also worked a little bit in the GitLab Duo page. We did some styling changes for the header, which now is like a little bit bigger. And we made these cards clickable, so users can go directly to the docs for each of the GitLab Duo capabilities. And finally, I worked a little bit on the topics page, incorrect URLs. We are having duplicated pages, the normal pages plus the /index pages of each of those. I tried to do a fix last week with the regex expression we do for building pages, but it didn't work. So right now, I believe that it's the folder structure we have for the topics. So we might need to refactor a little bit those pages and those templates. And I also still have the updates to the code suggestion components, which I think I will get to it tomorrow. And finally, I joined the SNS release yesterday, the live stream. So that was fun. And yeah, that's it from me. I'll pass it over to Mateo.
Hey, Miguel. Sharing my screen. All right. So first, a couple of small bug fixes. Wait, let me get the Zoom things out of the way. They're in the middle of my screen. All right. Couple of small fixes. This grid can now be customized on how many rows and columns we want, and the pagination will adjust to that. So right now we have just the 16 icons, so no pages. but if more get added or a different setup of columns and rows gets added, then the pagination changes. Also a small fix on this page where it was missing a container. So this was overflowing to the left. That one is fixed now. Also created this new page for the value stream assessment. Just waiting on confirmation that it can be merged now to request a code review, but otherwise it's ready. Then this one was from previous iteration, but it got a lot of content changes. So did that, and now it's ready again. This one is supposed to be merged on the 19th. And then I was also working on setting up the blog repo with Nux2. It was changing from the one that we had with Nux3. I also set up the review apps for this and integrated Contentful. So I have this majestic landing page for the blog right now, and it's picking up the data from Contentful. So this is Contentful. I can add an entry. Yeah, awesome blog post. Ooh. And if I publish that, then the content gets immediately updated. And yeah, that's it for me. I'll pass it over to Elvis.
I can find the button. Yes. Okay, thanks. Yes, you're seeing. Okay. Well, to explain, I fixed some bug related to Safari, the way Safari renders some icons. Before it was a blank space in some SVG images. So right now it's fixed in all the current cases and the future. So yeah, it's a fix for each one. I added the capacity to have public documents ready to be downloaded through a URL. And that's it. Later you can check the documents. And I updated some World Tour landing pages like London, Berlin, and Melbourne. Melbourne, some data customization, and specifically the new multi-step form for Melbourne. This is in the last step of the quality assurance, and once we get the approval, this should be deployed today, we hope. And that's it. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. And we'll see you next time.